All right. Well, this is my last video on how to preserve or store market bought oyster mushrooms. And I'm going to start off with the two methods that most people probably would use. And I'm going to show that even though it does work, it's not necessarily the best method if you want to store them or preserve them to the highest quality you can. So the first method, of course, is just leaving them in the paper bag. You buy them from market, you leave them in the paper bag, and after 15 days, because it's been 15 days since I store these mushrooms, so anywhere from 15 to 20 days since I picked them, this is what it looks like. So it's pretty dry. It's not flaking apart. It is yellow. It is still edible. I mean, I would eat this, could eat this, and probably won't, though. I'm probably going to compost this after this video. But anyhow, that's what that looks like. It is doable, I guess, is the way to say it. Maybe I'm going to save this to the side right now just so I can show them afterwards. All right, so the next kind of easiest method is just putting them in a bowl, putting a paper towel around them, and leaving them in the fridge. You'll see that the paper towel has yellowed up. That's from the mushrooms. And you'll see that the mushrooms themselves are, still edible. They're, looking a little rough, but they are very dry. They are in pretty good shape. But again, not in the highest quality condition that they could be if you wanted to keep them in a high quality condition. Plenty of mushroom foragers that would go out in the wild would find this mushroom and think, oh my gosh, I just scored. So again, it is still a very edible mushroom. Now for the methods of the kind of more involved methods, if you want to call it that. First, I'm going to show you kind of just sticking the same method as I did with the metal bowl. I just put a paper towel around these mushrooms, but I sealed them in a Pyrex container. So instead of leaving them open air in the fridge, I sealed it. And you're going to see that this mushroom is overall more moist. It's definitely falling apart a little bit more, but it has held its color much better. It is significantly more white. It is still fresh. If you could smell this mushroom, it still smells like it would at market. I mean, it's great. It is in great shape. And I want to, again, say this is 15 to 20 days after picking this mushroom, okay? So this is a great method to hold it in. In this case, I did not change the paper towel. In my other videos, I recommended you change your paper towels, and again, I recommend that. These would be in even better shape and significantly drier if I wasn't so lazy, but I didn't really feel like it. So anyhow, that's the method of just taking a paper towel and putting it around it. This last method, I did change the paper towel once. I showed that on a video, I think. Maybe I did. And I layered them. And as you can see, I'm going to take these out. There's a little yellowing up there at the corner. But these are in really good shape. They are pretty similar to the ones that I just wrapped the paper towel in, because I should have changed these paper towels, and again, I didn't. But you can see that after 15 days, and these were some pretty wet mushrooms when I got them, into this container. I did not choose the best mushrooms, the driest mushrooms for this experiment or demonstration. Anyhow, so as you can see, these are in really, really good shape. So I'm just going to take a second here at the end and just give you a kind of visual comparison of these mushrooms compared to the mushrooms that I just wrapped in a paper towel and the mushrooms that I left in the bag and the mushrooms that I put a paper towel around in the fridge. So if you look at these mushrooms are now 15 to 20 days old mushrooms that are oyster mushrooms. Generally speaking, you're going to always want to eat oyster mushrooms within 3 to 5 days of them being picked, which is what you're going to get when you get them at market from me. The max you might ever get, if it's a crazy experience, is 5 to 6 days old being picked, but that's extremely rare. So anyhow, these mushrooms, as you can see, are 15 days old, or 15 to 20 days old. Here's the ones left in the bag, dry, yellowed. The ones left in the fridge in a Pyrex bowl that it just was wrapped in paper towel, pretty similar, really. And then ones that were given a little more care. And if you look at the difference in color, it is obvious. You can really see, and if you look at the dry, or if you could feel, you can't look at it, but if you can see the dryness versus the moist freshness, you can see that these really held up. But anyhow, the last one I'm going to show you is the blue oyster, the warm blue oyster, which I said was just a really easy one to care for. I stuck in a bowl, put a paper towel on top of it, and left it in there. And as you can see, these have held up really well. They are still quite firm and sturdy. So these are, if you really want mushrooms to hold up for a couple of weeks, these would be the ones to try to find and buy. But again, they have to be held up and given care and in good condition. All right, well, thank you, and I hope this is helpful.